I don't want to be on the camera, so don't put me on the camera.
Well, you've approached me, young man, so...
Okay, I don't want to be on the camera though.
Well, I film everything, so you've approached me, so for my safety and your safety, I will film.
Okay.
Because you might come out and attack me.
No, that's fine. But
or you could say I've done something I haven't.
Am I able to ask you not to film me?
You can ask by all means. You can ask by all means.
There we go, I'll ask.
I will politely decline if that's okay.
Okay.
So welcome back to the channel, guys. Good to see that the Royal Mail have installed some electric charging points. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that I can see. So a little bit of a backstory to this one, guys. This was one of the first ones I did when I picked up the camera nearly a year ago, and let's just say it was interesting. Oh no, there's some more charging points around the corner, so we've got another one there, another one there, and another one there. So yeah, as I was saying, it was a little bit different because they were trying to tell me I couldn't do this and I couldn't do that. As always, people were telling me that their wives were solicitors and all sorts of stuff, which of course people will say anything to try and encourage you not to do anything. So very, very packed car park this morning, but then anybody who knows Royal Mail at the moment knows they're not as early risers as they used to be. I didn't expect my previous call to be quite so quick. Yeah, so they've got quite a few electric vehicles now. Would be interesting to get some feedback from them if they wanted to talk about how efficient they are and all the rest of it. So we've got a sign here saying Royal Mail accept no liability for personal injury, damage of property, which is understandable. A few customers lined up to get some bits and bobs. Yeah, quite a few vehicles all over the place. So what we'll do, guys, we'll just wait for the queue to die down, and then we'll go back up and film through the fence, see if we can start to see anything moving. So we're just doing a little number plate check. We've got a C7 GOB, no blue badge, parked in a disabled space. Then we've got another Mini PHO3 VLH parked in a disabled space, and then we've got a DY15 XMJ, got distracted there, parked on hashings and a pavement. So we can draw that to their attention if they want to listen. But at the moment, in Royal Mail land, very, very quiet. So I'll pick it up when things start to move about. I might even nip over the road and start doing the one over there first and come back to the Royal Mail. Then I'll just have to piece it back together for you later, guys. So as you can see, I think the planning that goes into these places is pretty poor. Look at the state of this here, as people are parking on the wet grass. So we've got a VK58 POJ parking on the wet grass. Starting to put mud on the road, which is of course a a hazard to other drivers. We've got the Land Cruiser 4460 FH blocking the crossing area, making it difficult for anybody in a wheelchair or anything. So there's a few things to highlight to them if they bother to come out and have a chat. But we'll move on up and come back to you when we get another interaction. So the wind is getting up, guys, sorry about that. So here is typical of somebody who thinks because they can put their hazards on, they can literally park where they like, which creates a problem for pedestrians and all the rest of it. But is that your car, young man? Hello? Yeah? You do realise that that's illegally parked?
Yeah.
Yeah? And you don't mind that?
I was going short term, so...
Short term, long term, doesn't matter, young man. So yeah, so the attitude is on their short term, basically it's the I don't give a flying foxtrot. But as probably many of you viewers know, that is the attitude of a lot of people today. It's all about them, me.com. So anyway, we're coming back up to the side of Royal Mail. So again, I'll just remind everybody that the last interaction here was not very good. Interesting, I suppose, would be one way to describe it. But again, next to nothing going on. Very, very quiet, very, very quiet. So I think someone's trying to get a signal for a phone or something, not sure what they're doing. Definitely trying to get a signal, probably trying to get barcode or something for something they're taking out. So I'll tell you what we'll do, as we've been clocked, we'll stop it there and see if anybody comes out. So there are signs of people starting to move about. Nobody really loaded anything. I've noticed this time there's some heavy wagons in that weren't here when I filmed last time. And interestingly, they were backed onto the big fence at the back, which has of course pushed a lot of the vans out here into the car park, which is creating problems for customers. And in fact, you've only got to look down the side here and see how people are being forced to pull up on pavements and footpaths and all sorts of stuff. So yeah, so we got the box outside which says Monday to Friday 6:45, Saturday 1 o'clock, franked mail only, which is different.
I don't want to be on the camera, so don't put me on the camera.
Well, you've approached me, young man, so...
Okay, I don't want to be on the camera though.
Well, I film everything, so you've approached me, so for my safety and your safety, I will film.
Okay.
Because you might come out and attack me.
No, that's fine. But
or you could say I've done something I haven't.
Am I able to ask you not to film me?
You can ask by all means. You can ask by all means.
There we go, I'll ask.
I will politely decline if that's okay.
Okay.
Because...
Can I ask what the purpose of this?
Yes, you can.
There we go, I'll ask what the purpose is.
No worries. So, Royal Mail undergoing a lot of changes.
Yes, they are.
And I was filming up here about a year ago.
Yes, you were.
And got a bit of a strange interaction with some of your colleagues.
And if you remember rightly, I actually approached you myself and you were actually filming me and I asked you not to film me and you said no problem at all, I won't film you because I'd asked you nicely.
That was last year.
Okay.
I was new to this. Unfortunately, the reaction I got last time has now forced me to keep my camera running at all times.
Okay.
Since then, I've been assaulted on several occasions, not by Royal Mail staff.
Okay.
So this becomes the independent witness that doesn't lie.
Right, okay.
So
and what are we gaining from this, can I ask?
What we're gaining? Well, hopefully we're gaining to see that if you guys have got a different attitude towards people with cameras,
okay,
because obviously we're not attempting to
You'll always find out certain people don't like being on the camera. I don't like being on the camera, that's why I've asked you not to film me.
Can I ask you a question that's a little bit personal? How old are you?
That's neither here nor there.
I'm just trying to guess.
No, you don't need to worry about
Well, I am, because you see, if you go back 20, 30 years, people didn't get all upset over a camera.
Okay.
Often they would dive in front of it and try and spoil somebody else's shot. It's called photobombing these days.
I'm not a camera person, so I'm not comfortable with people pointing the camera at me.
You're doing
I'd
absolutely
be really
fine.
happy if you pointed your camera downwards and we could still interact.
Do you know what? That you could do an attempted strike at me and I could
Okay.
miss it on the camera. So,
Okay.
so honestly, that's the reason I do it, because I don't know how much you witnessed last time I was up here, but you had one particular manager that was, shall we say, unprofessional. You've been absolutely great, so you've got nothing to worry about. This will only do you favours.
Okay.
You seem very quiet. That's all I was going to do, ask a few questions.
That's
I
fine.
noticed that this time you've got all these big wagons at the back.
Yeah, because last time you came down was closer to Christmas.
It
so
was.
All of our vans were parked along there as
Yeah.
we get ready for Christmas.
Yeah.
That's why I can remember what day when it was.
Oh right, okay, yeah. As I said, we're coming up to the anniversary, and
Yeah.
I noticed that you've got the electric charging points,
Yes,
which
we've
is
got electric
great.
Charging points. So virtually all of our fleet of our vans is 100%. I think maybe one or two diesels.
Right, and is that working well? I mean, you're not having any problems with people having to come back before they finish because they're running out of charge?
We've got plenty of juice.
Brilliant,
Plenty
brilliant,
of juice in it.
excellent.
We
So what's the range roughly?
Ben's got two different vans.
Ah,
So,
right.
Two different sizes of vans. You've got the Mercedes van, you've got the Peugeot van.
Okay.
So we've both got different ranges, but they've got enough range to last somebody a couple of days usually.
Oh really? That good? Wow,
So,
that's
but
excellent.
you've got to think some of these drivers aren't doing many miles a day.
No, it's
Okay.
mainly on foot, and then once they've pulled up and stuff.
So I'm going to leave you to it.
No, thank you.
I just didn't know who you were.
And listen, we welcome you checking, because you need to make sure that I'm not here for any nefarious means, and that's
Yeah.
great. You've been absolutely fine, so I appreciate that. Thank
Can
you.
I ask, have you got any ID?
Why would I need ID, sir?
Just about.
Because you don't look like a policeman. You look like
I
a
didn't know if you
Royal
had-
Mail worker.
Because you haven't asked me if I've got any ID. I could be just then.
You could be, but I've used my intelligence
That's fine, that's
because
fine.
you've come out of somewhere that says no admittance to unauthorised personnel.
Yeah. No, I just want to make sure that
And you've got a high vis on, and you've also said that you saw me here last year. Sorry, do you want me to hold that open for you?
No, it's for mail. It's just we've got to give mail sometimes.
Yeah, no, I just
So we
didn't
can't
want you
have
to.
guys having
I didn't want you
extra mail.
to get
And that's
caught.
one of the things. My concern is, as long as you aren't catching people loading their vans up or taking,
Now,
because you can you could actually capture someone's.
do you remember we had this one last year?
But it's just being sensitive about someone's.
It was
information.
one of the things that was mentioned about not filming into the back of the vans when they load up. That is perfectly legal
But
from certain areas.
But what I don't want to capture is people's addresses.
And I did say to your colleagues, if I saw anything that was
Yeah.
going to compromise, I would blur that
But that's
out.
fine, as long as you're aware that's where we still
Mo-
stand still.
most
with it.
definitely,
All right?
most
I
definitely.
want to make sure that's covered.
Yeah, no,
I've got
that's
to go back in because I've got to carry on with.
of course.
Day-to-day
I
running.
don't ever want to stop anybody working. Listen, thank you for being respectful.
No problem at all.
Is
it
the
a
little
is it
fella
a-
still
is
here?
it- Is it a long time you're going to be here for?
No,
20
probably
minutes?
5 minutes. You know, once I've took the drone over to have a look at everything.
Just respect everyone's wishes. If they don't want to be on the camera, please respect their wishes.
Again, if I'm in a place where I can film,
Yeah.
if they ask me nicely, I tend to not film.
there you go.
And
That's
now
what-
that's not
and
to
I'll-
say that you didn't.
No, but I know there are some people who don't like being on film like
Of
myself,
course.
so they might ask you.
Yeah,
just
and
politely.
I'm not filming your customers. So is the little fella here still? The one that spent an awful lot of time telling me what I can't do, and
We've had change in management has happened in the
Okay.
past year, so that's
All right.
all I'm going to say.
so
I'm
happy
not
ship,
gonna-
happy ship,
Well,
ish.
you would have to ask everyone individually. I can't vouch for everyone, can I?
Well, they seem to be smiling. Now, one last question before you go, because I know you're busy.
Yeah.
These new barcode stamps,
Yes.
is that going to make your life easier? Because that's one the viewers would want to know.
I can't answer that one.
But you hope it will.
But let's hope it does. Let's hope it does.
Brilliant. Listen, have a good day,
Thank you very much.
and I'll see you this time next year. Yeah.
We'll see.
No worries. You take care. So we're just going to have a look at the two types of van that the gentleman mentioned. I forgot to tell him about the parking actually. Oh dear. Never mind. So yeah, they've got two types of van. So you've got the Mercedes, as you can see here, and you've got the Peugeot. Now, I don't know anything about these type of vans, but I'm assuming that this has got possibly a bigger load carrying capability than Mercedes. If anybody out there is an engine, what do they call it, petrol head, although these are electric, but if anybody knows about this in the Now I've just caught myself out because that's a smaller Peugeot to this one. So this is a bigger Peugeot. So that's probably just stopped my argument about the weight that they can carry or the load size. So we got KR 71 plates and KP 71s, KS's 71s, KR 71s, KS 71s. Yeah, they've obviously bought a huge amount. We've got a KW 22, and I don't know if you heard what the guy said. He said, but if they drive them careful, because they don't tend to do a lot of miles, they can get a couple of days out of them. So attitudes do seem to have changed, so we are making a difference, guys. And in fairness to the fella, the only thing he seemed to have a problem with was if I got addresses or being filmed himself. But as you all know, if we stop the film, it's a bit pointless what we're doing. So yeah, so post office, Royal Mail, change of attitude. So yeah, come on guys, we know this is working with industry, or at least it seems to be where I'm visiting at the moment. So the police are back on the should we call it the target list? Police are on the target list for later this week and possibly next week. Yeah, give us a thumbs up. If you click the little bell icon and subscribe, you will be notified when anything new goes up. We will be visiting several police stations. I think I'm up to 11 on the list. I'm just planning the best routes and timings and stuff like that. I do like these early mornings as well, especially with the police, I've got to say, because if they're not quite so busy, they often feel more inclined to stop and challenge. So, just back at the Royal Mail before we go. Post Brennihol. So, if anybody knows what that is, I might look it up. Trouble is, I've left my phone in the car because of what's been happening. I'm watching other people's videos. They got this habit of trying to get your phone and stuff. So, let's have a look. They've got, what's that, 3, 4? Excuse me, mate, what's Post Brennihol?
Sorry?
Post Brennihol.
I've got a block here.
On the side of these vans, Post Brennihol?
Oh, yeah.
Is that Welsh?
Yes.
Ah, right, okay. I didn't realise you went over that way. Or are you borrowing some vehicles? Ah, makes sense then. Do you drive one of the electrics?
He does. I'm the passenger.
Any good?
Driver. No, he's not.
Sorry, love. You have a good day, guys, yeah? So, let's just point out to this fella, because he thinks it's safe now. Can I just point out to you, young man, I don't know if you're a boss or just a postie.
Right.
I forgot his name who come out of security risk.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. You know, unethical people would have been in there, wouldn't they? Are you driving one of the electrics?
I am indeed, yeah.
What are they like? Any good?
It's okay.
Peugeot or Mercedes?
Peugeot, yeah.
Well, he was telling me earlier you can get 2 days out of them sometimes.
Depends if they've been charged.
Ah, right,
I'm on
gotcha.
a rural, so it takes longer.
Yeah, of course. So you're doing more driving than walking, technically.
Yeah.
Have a safe day.
Yes, and you. Take care.
I do my best. Just a quickie, mate. What do you think of the electrics? Good vans for the job? Yeah? And your boss earlier was telling me you get 2 days out of them if you drive them carefully?
100 miles.
Well, that's not 2 days, is it?
Well, for me, I only do 10 miles a day.
Oh, right. And what, about 25 on foot?
Pardon?
About 25 on foot?
Yeah.
Fair play.
See you back again.
Is this an electric?
I think they all are,
Well, all of them now?
Majority of them are, yeah.
So you're enjoying using them?
They're very good vehicles.
Yeah?
I wouldn't buy one, but I'm very, very good.
I know the feeling, yeah. Anyway, have a good day, guys. Stay safe. Do you remember? I'll come this side because the window's out. Do you remember me from last year then?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't upset you, did I, last year?
No, you didn't talk to me last year.
That's all right
Well,
then.
I was upset about that, actually, because you didn't talk to me.
Do you know what? I can't get around everybody. I tell you what though, it's nice to see there's been a little bit of a change of attitude in your management, so that's a good one. You take care. Cheers. So that one's that's a Peugeot. The other guy's got the Mercedes. This bloke ain't turned up for work yet. So yes, so the Welsh vans are on loan. They're electric as well. So I think with the attitude being so very, very different, that definitely wraps it up for the Royal Mail at Glousester Business Park for this trip. So give us a thumbs up, expose and educate. We will catch you on the next one, and we'll see if we can find this copper that's flying around. Spoken to me once, check out that video. Yeah, catch you on the next one, guys. You all stay safe. Thank you.